Well, we're just back from court. It's 10 minutes of 11, and this was certainly an interesting, an interesting little adventure, another adventure in my TriMet blogging career, which never ceases to not entertain me. I was going to leave Lane in there until the hearing tomorrow, and let the attorney try to lower the bail because it's ridiculous. I mean, we all know this is ridiculous. I mean, there's not a damn thing we can do. The worst part about it is we know we can't do anything about it. See, this is where you understand where you stand as a citizen in the eyes of the justice system. You are a nothing. Okay. Now we're not sure what Lane did yet, but it's got to be either the podcast. I don't know. I mean, we're just guessing, but he did something. Obviously, they don't arrest him for nothing, but we're not sure what it is. We'll find out tomorrow what it is. In any event, he's bailed. So whatever happens tomorrow, at least he's not. He's going to be out. Now, the reason I did that was because his attorney called me, or he didn't call me. I got an email saying that his attorney was on another case. So in other words, the attorney won't be there for the bail hearing, which means Lane won't get out because the attorney was going to come in the afternoon and try to get him out, but I have no confidence in that at all. Also, when Lane tried to call me, they have this phone system over there. Apparently, it's $9 to accept a call from an inmate, and they ask you. In my case, he called my cell phone, and the question that's asked by whoever is making these calls is, in order for you to get the call, you have to put in the zip code of your bill. So I put in the zip code of my Verizon bill, and it says to me, this is not an authentic zip code, and I mean it's my zip code. So then Lane calls back again, and I try it again, and the thing says this is not an authentic zip code. In other words, Lane can't contact me, or so I'm starting to think, okay, his attorney's not going to be there. He can't call out. Okay, my hands are tied. I have to bail him out at this point. Otherwise, he'll be lost in the system. I mean, I was going to just let him go to the hearing and see what happens, but we have to sometimes supersede this injustice system. You know, if you have money, you know how it works in this country, right? If you have money, you don't go to jail. If you don't have money, you go to jail. Interestingly enough, I happened to be down there to make the. At first, I went down there at 8 o'clock with my credit card, and when I get there with the credit card, they tell me there's a 7% fee, a 7% credit card fee. So this is a $5,000 bail, almost $4,600 bail. So figure out 7% of that. That's hundreds of dollars. So I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'm not gonna. Why should I waste hundreds of dollars to the credit card company? So I go home, get the cash. I happen to have some cash on hand. The cash is on hand and waiting for the economic collapse. Hold on, I got problems. So I pull the cash out. Go back an hour later, and we had this whole ordeal counting the cash. I'm counting the cash, and then they're counting the cash, and it got all messed up. So we had to keep counting. It was supposed to have been a half hour or something of counting the cash. And then when we get it all counted out, I had like 660, and the bail was 650, and you have to have exact change. So they had to give me all the goddamn money back, and I go running over to the Lotus, which is next door to the jail, and get 4 5s for a 20. Then I go back again, and we start the whole process. I mean, the whole thing was just a goddamn nightmare. Now, interestingly enough, when I was waiting for all this, it took them about 45 minutes to just fill out the bail forms before they said, "Okay, give us the money." So this process is taking hours. And interestingly enough, they were letting the prisoners out at that time. People were filtering out. There'd be this clunk of a door. You hear this boom, and then some forlorn, lost soul would come out. And I mean, it was quite a procession of people. It really, really is a sorry sight. There was one guy. He happened to be a Hispanic. Spoke perfect English and also spoke perfect Spanish. He gets out, and he kept. I'm sitting on the bench, and he keeps coming around me and looking at the stuff pasted right around me. And finally, I talked to him. I said, "Well, what are you waiting for?" And he says, "Well, I'm waiting for my dad to get me." And then he tells me that they kept me 3 days longer than I was supposed to be there, and that's going to cost them $1,500 a day. There's some rule, he says, that there's a penalty of $1,500 a day if they don't let you out when they're supposed to let you out. So I mean that was fascinating. And then watching the characters come out of the jail. Whew. Oh, what an experience. Well, anyway, so finally, 10:30, I finally get this figured out and post the bail. And I say, well, when's he coming out? And they say, well, they already took him to Inverness, so he's already gone. They've moved him from the main jail down to the Inverness jail. So they said, well, he'll probably get out about 4 or 5 in the morning, which doesn't surprise. I mean, I have experience with this. I've seen how the jails do business with people. They bury you way down the system. They do not cooperate with you trying to get people out. I've had people in my past that have been lost in the jail, and I'm not making that up. They didn't even know where he was in the jail. That's how they do things. When they want to bury somebody, they do it. So they didn't. They told me we don't know where he is. Now, what are you going to do about it as a citizen? You're not going to do anything because there's nothing you can do. And it all comes back down to, well, who's got the power here? It ain't us, folks. Well, so he'll get out at 4 or 5. I told him to come over here, and then at 8 in the morning, we'll go back down there and listen to the hearing. But at least he's out now. If he violates this agreement, they're going to come after me for $40,000, and he goes to jail with no bail. So we both lose if he fucks this one up. Now, hopefully, he doesn't know what's going on right now. I mean, as far as he knows, he thinks that I have rejected his phone calls because when he called me, I couldn't talk. The phone wouldn't accept my zip code. So hopefully he's got some fear going on here. But sometime later tonight, 3, 4 in the morning, they always let you out when there's no way to get anywhere. He'll get out, and we'll see where it goes from here. TriMet, you're a bunch of fucking shitheads for this shit, man. You keep trying to fuck up shit, and we keep losing. But one of these days, we're gonna beat you, okay? And you're gonna pay for this shit, okay? You better hope this goes your way, because if it doesn't, man, you're gonna have one hell of a suit against you.